It's Monday night, and that means it's time to play some savings challenges and save some money. Welcome to Ready Budget Game. Welcome back to Ready Budget Go. My name is Drew, and on this channel we talk about cash budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Today I'm going to do something that I haven't done on my channel before, and that is get into playing some savings challenge games. I've got some that are mine, and some that I have adapted from other games, and I'm going to play them all. Normally, in normal weeks, I will use a randomizer, but because this is the first one, I thought I would go through all of them just individually and show everything that I'm going to be doing. So, I'm going to start with the Savings Challenge books. I will move the game book off to the side. I've set aside $150 here for savings challenges for this week. Normally it would be $100, but because I'm going to go through everything, I want to make sure that I have enough money to cover whatever it is that I scratch or roll or fill in. Because there's some challenges that I'm going to work on that are quite expensive. If you watched my January budget with me, you'll remember that I allocated $100 a week to savings challenges. So this extra $50, if I do end up using it, I will find it from elsewhere in my budget and pull that into the savings challenge money, but I will fully save it. Another thing that I just want to mention here real quick is that I am using prop money. I make a transfer to my savings account twice a month, which is when I get paid. I get paid on the 15th and I get paid on the last business day of the month. So when those paychecks come in, there's an automatic transfer that goes over to my savings account. I have a lot of different goals this year. One of them is fully funding my emergency fund. Another is fully funding my Roth IRA. Another is setting up a sort of a backup emergency fund, kind of like a rainy day fund. And then the fourth one is the big move. And again, I've talked about that in more detail in my Budget With Me video for January. So I'll try to remember to leave a link to that down below or at the end cards so that if you're interested in seeing that, you can go and watch it. But without further ado, I'm going to start with the Savings Challenge books. Both of these are ones that I created, and we'll start with Zodiac Save with the Stars. This is the first product that I released in my Etsy shop, and it is still available. This goes through all of the different signs of the zodiac, starting with Aries, then Taurus, Gemini, so on, all the way through Pisces, which is the 12th sign of the zodiac. Each page on the left side has numbers 1 through 9. And then on the right side is a color and save challenge. And I'm going to do this with a D12 and a D10. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a D12 to figure out which page I'm going to do. And then from there, I'm going to roll a D6 to figure out which segment I'm going to do. So I'm randomizing this one kind of to the hilt. But if that sounds complicated, I promise it'll make more sense as I go along. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these extra dice out of here, and I'll move the dice tray a little bit closer, and we'll roll and see what page we're going to do. And it's number 7. So we're going to go to number 7. All of the pages here are numbered on both sides. 4, there's 8, 7. Okay, so 7 is Libra, the scales. Now I'm going to roll a d6 to see which segment I'm going to do. And that's a 1, so I'm going to be scratching. And for the heck of it, I'm going to roll 2 d6s, and we'll see which one I'm going to scratch. So number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so right here. And I'm just using a quarter. I do have a scratcher, but I think for this book, coins tend to work better on the glossy surface. So on this one, I have found number 3. So I will save $3, and we'll move on to the next one. So let me get the book out here. I don't yet have an envelope created, so I just stuck one here in the front for this one. And I'm also not sure exactly which goals these are going to go to. I know that I'm going to have to step on the gas to finish the to finish this book, just because doing once a week, one roll a week, I would be in it for a very long time. So in future weeks, I may speed this up and do 2 or 3 rolls, but for now, just for this video, because it's going to be a long one, I'm just going to do the one. So that's it for the Zodiac book. And next, I'm going to bring in General Greenback and the Frugality Force. This is the one that I just released in my Etsy shop. This particular one is an oops, so I thought, well, I might as well use it. I got the hole punches wrong, so it's a little bit off. The ones that I sell in my Etsy shop, the hole punches will be perfect and everything will line up as you would expect. So this is the story of a superhero, or a team of superheroes, General Greenback and his Frugality Force, and they are taking on Lord Larceny and the evil Swindle Syndicate. And so the first thing that you do when you open up the book is you meet General Greenback, and he asks you to team up with him to take on Lord Larceny. And I went over this in more detail when the book launched, and I'll link to that down in the description. But for now, I'm just going to scratch one over here, and I'm going to, because there's 12, I'll roll a d12, and we'll see which one I scratch here. Number 12. Okay, so down here in the bottom right, and these are all golden eggs because somebody stole General Greenback's retirement account, so we need to get that back for him. And this is a 7. So I'm going to save $7, and I'll get out my envelope for General Greenback, which is here in the games binder. And we'll put those in here. Okay, so close that. And now all of the other games that I'm going to play are in here. So the first one is the 12 face cards. And this is another challenge that I created. It is essentially, let me bring them out here, another scratch and save challenge, but it is all of the different face cards in a deck of cards. And each one has 12 different scratches, and on the back it tells you a little bit about each one. So this here is the King of Hearts, which is Charlemagne, and the Queen of Clubs is Lady Argia, which is from Greek mythology. Alexander the Great's the King of Clubs. So there's obviously 12 in total, because there's 3 face cards and 4 suits. So I will roll, no, I'm not going to roll. I'm going to shuffle a deck of cards. And the way that I'm going to do this is I am going to just keep turning over cards. I'm using all 52 cards, and in fact, I think I even left the jokers in here. But I am going to shuffle, and I am going to keep turning over cards until I get to a face card, and then I will scratch one on that card. So just give it a few shuffles here. And like I say, in future weeks, I will be randomizing which games I play. But for this one, because it is the first week, I'm just going to go through all of them. Okay, so right off the bat, we got the Queen of Clubs. So that is Lady Argia. Let me find her again. Clubs should be toward the back. There are also numbers on the bottom right if you did want to use a die or 2 dice, if you like that. So I am going to roll here, and number 1. Okay, so top left corner. Okay, so $7 again. So we'll put another $7 into the envelope for the 12 face cards. And then we'll move on to another game, and this will be left, center, right. So this one is a game, let me put these away first. This one is a game where it is meant to be played a different way, but I have sort of repurposed it. I've written new rules for it for how to play it as a savings challenge game. I bought this right before Christmas at a game store that I was in, and I saw it, and it didn't have instructions out when I saw it at the game store, but I thought, looking at the pieces on the front, I bet I could adapt that into a savings challenge game, and I did. So I'm going to pull these pieces out, and I hope you'll be able to see the tokens on the dark background, because they are blue, and my background is dark. So the way that I've adapted this is that I'm going to start with 3 tokens, and everything else is kind of in the community pot over here. And I'm going to roll these dice. And these are specialty dice, so there's 3 that have a circle on them. and then there's left, right, and then the star is the center. So I'm going to make 3 pots. Every time a left comes up, I'm going to move one off to the left. When the center comes up, I'll move one into the center, and when the right comes up, I'll move one into the right. When a circle comes up, I'm going to take a new one out of the pot and bring it into the center. So the goal is to end up with no tokens in front of me, and then once that happens, I will save the amount that's in the largest pile. So if one pile ends up getting a whole bunch of them, then I will stop at $10. I decided I was going to max this one out at $10. So let's give it a roll and see how we do. Okay, so we've got 2 to the left, and then we've got 1 from the pot. So this might be a short game. And we've got 2 to the center and 1 to the left. Well, I don't have another one to give to the left, so I'm already done. So I'm going to save $2, and I'm actually going to play this one again, because when I did the practice play, I was getting a lot more variety. So I'll save $2, and I'll set it up again here with 3 in my little pot here, and we'll give it another go. Okay, so 1 to the left and 2 more out of the community pot. 3 more out of the community pot, and this is more like a typical play, I would say, because half the faces are the ones out of the community pot, so you tend to get more of those. Okay, so 2 to the center, 1 to the left, or not to the center, but to my pot. Okay, so I'm bringing in 2 more, and 1 goes to the center. It's really interesting how the number of rolls you get really varies from game to game. I was done in 2 rolls with the last one, and this one's going to go on for quite a while, it looks like. So 2 more and 1 to the left. Okay, 1 more and 2 to the center. None to the right so far. 1 to the left and 2 more. So it's going to be a while before I get anything out of here. Okay, there we go, 1 to the right. It's going to be a while before I use up all these tokens. Okay, 2 to the right and 1 to the middle. 1 to the middle, 1 to the left, 1 to the center. Okay, 2 to the right, 1 more out of here. So I've only got 1 more left on the left-hand side. Okay, and that's all of them. So I'm going to max out at 10 because I would keep rolling until I got to 10. I've never done this before where I've gotten all of the tokens into the center, but I'm going to put aside the $10 and call that a game. So again, it's a big variety. I could play this, and I think the first time I ended up saving $6, the second time I ended up saving 10, the third time I ended up saving, I don't know, 3 or 4. And then, like I say, the first time I played it tonight, I ended up saving $2. So I'm going to put in another 10 and make it 12. And I'm just going to clean these up real quick. And then we'll move on to game number 3 after I stuff the money. So I want to say this game was, I don't know, maybe $7. I can't remember. Any game store is likely to have it, or you can probably find it on Amazon. If I can find it, I may link it below. So left, center, right, or left, right, center, however you want to call it. So we'll put that to the side, take out another $10, and I'll bring back the binder here. And I hope I'm not shaking the camera too much. I'm really trying to avoid that, but might be kind of tricky on game night. Okay, so that's in number 2. Moving on to number 3, Flip 7. So this is another game that I've repurposed. So Flip 7 is a game, if you haven't played it before, where there are number cards. It's a special deck of cards, sort of like Uno, but not really. So on the backs of these cards are numbers, and there are 12 12s, there's 5 5s, there's 1 0, there's, oh, that's another 5, there's 8 8s, you get the idea. There's also some special cards, these add to your score. There are ones that say freeze on them, here's one of those, that stops the game immediately. There's a red second chance. Ooh, there's 2 of those in a row here. And then there's Flip 3, which makes you flip over 3 cards. So I won't go over how this game is normally played, but I will kind of explain how I've adapted it for me. So in this game, I am going to draw cards until I decide that I want to either freeze or until I go bust. And the way that you bust in this game is if you draw 2 cards of the same value. So if your first, and you have to draw at least 3 cards. So if your first 3 cards are a 12, 11, and a 10, you probably better stop, because if you keep going, the chances that you're going to draw another card that's either a 12 or 11 or a 10 is pretty good. So you can stop after 3. Otherwise, it goes up to 7. You can stop anywhere along the way. If you get the freeze card, that will force you to stop, even if you are only dealing the first 3 cards. And I've decided to do this low budget way, where I keep adding up the numbers of my score until I get something to be 10 or less. It'll make more sense as I play it. So I'm just going to cut the deck, and we'll give it a start. Okay, so 5, freeze. So I'm already done. So because that was a short game, just like with the last one, I'm going to play it again. And I will stick these cards in the bottom of the deck. And we'll go again. 0 plus 6. So this is a bonus card. So I'm going to stick that up here. It doesn't count as a 6, but it adds 6 to the score. 8, 5, and my score is fairly low, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to see if I can flip over 7 cards. 2, that's another really good card. 9, still good. Second chance, so I'm going to save that. So if I draw another one of these, then I'll have a way to, I'll get out of jail free card, essentially. And then flip 3. So now, even though I am going to draw to 7, I'm going to flip over 3 cards. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I ended up drawing another 8, so I'll use my second chance on that. And I drew 7 cards, which is about as good as it gets. So I'm going to add up the score, and then, like I say, I'll keep adding the numbers together until I get to a score that's lower than 10 or lower. So 9 plus 11 is 20, 30, 42, 48. 4 plus 8 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. So I'll save an additional $3 with this game. My goal with this game isn't to necessarily save as much as possible, but just to randomize the amount that's going to be saved. And like I say, I built in that safety buffer of up to $10, because if I didn't have that, that would have taken, half of my regular allotment. So I can't even remember what I said anymore. Was it 8? I think it was 8. I don't know. I'm going to save 8. Yeah, I'll save 8. So that makes it 13 for this game, and I will do better about keeping track next time, but at least it gives you an idea of how it's played. So I'll put this in the envelope for flip 7. And when I watch this back, I'm going to feel real stupid, because it probably wasn't 8. It was probably a totally different amount. And I'm going to be giving myself a face palm, but that's okay. It's all for savings. It's all for building the emergency fund, saving for retirement, and what have you. Okay, so the next set of games is going to be Dicetropolis, and this is another, it's a set of games that I developed, or adapted rather, for use in savings challenges. And this one is also available on my Etsy shop. This has 12 different games, and they're printed on glossy stock paper, so you can keep them in an A5 envelope if you want. You can write on them with a wet erase or dry erase marker and just wipe them off afterward. And so ordinarily I would roll a d12 to randomize it, but I'm going to play my favorite game of the 12 for the inaugural one, which is Dropout. So I'm going to set this aside again. And in Dropout, what you do is you roll 5d6 dice. And if any of them come up as either a 5 or a deuce, you take those out and you don't roll them again. You have up to 5 rolls. If you roll a 5 or a 2, you score a 0 for that roll, no matter what the rest of the dice say. And so it feels like initially like you could end up saving a lot of money or spending a lot of money, but in reality, the chances are 50-50 that at least one of the dice will come up a 5 or a 2, in which case the whole roll scores a 0. And so generally what happens is you get a lot of zeros up front, and then it's the last roll or the last two rolls when you have one die left and you roll a 3 and you end up saving $3 for the whole game. So I'll play at least one round, maybe two, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to bring this in a little bit closer so that I can see the dice, and we'll drop them down and see what we get. Okay, so on the first roll, I didn't roll any 5s or deuces, so I actually have a score here. So I have 9, 10, 11, 12. And this is a dry erase marker, so I'm just going to write that for roll number 1. And now, because I didn't have any 5s or deuces, I get to roll all 5 dice again. Roll number 2. Okay, I got a 5 and I got a deuce, so I'm going to pull those out. Roll number 2 scores a 0. And we'll go for roll number 3. Roll number 3, have a 5, pull that one out, score a 0. Roll number 4, a 6 and a 3, so that's another score, that's a 9. And roll them again, and that's a 0 because we had a 5. So the total score here is 21. That's actually a really high score, and I'm going to play it the low budget way, and I'm going to save $3, and then I am going to play again, because why not? I could save 21 and move on, but this game is so fun, I'm gonna go one more time. So roll all 5 dice, and we got a deuce, and we got a 5, so we're gonna pull those out. Roll number 1, score 0. Roll again. 1, 1, 3, so that's a score of 5. Okay. Roll again. 1, 3, 3, so that's a 7. And we got 2 deuces, so they come out, and we score a 0 for roll 4. And the last roll is a 4. So we have 12, 16. So I'm going to add those together, and I'm going to save 7, or a total of $10 for these 2 games together. So like I say, this is glossy stock paper. That's a dry erase marker, so I can just wipe out the numbers. I'll come back and clean this off with a cloth later. But it is meant to be reused. All of these are meant to be reused time and time again, and they're meant to last. So put those back. We'll save 10. And I will also put the Dicetropolis cards away. Like so. And Dicetropolis is number 4. And I'm going to put $10 in the envelope. Okay. Behind number 5 is a freebie challenge that is right now included in any physical products purchased from my Etsy shop. You will get one of these. And this is 2025, so this is saving $20 25 times in 2025 for a total of $500. And I am just going to use a permanent marker, and I'm going to fill in 1, and I will save $20. So this one isn't so much of a game, but I just love the design so much. And it is a limited edition. I won't be reprinting this. I might do it again next year for 2026. We'll see. But for this year, these are available. I'd say they're maybe 40% gone. So there's still time to get one. Like I say, it's not available for purchase in my Etsy shop on its own, but I do include it with every physical products order while supplies last. Just kind of as a nice freebie. Okay. So done with that. And I should have picked 120, but I didn't, so I'm going to take out 4 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will return these to the envelope along with the challenge. Need a bigger desk. I bet most people say that. Oops, upside down. Okay. So the next 2 are both scratch-offs, and these are also freebies. These are free with the purchase of $75 or more. These are, I mean, I would say they're nothing special. I made these when I was testing different printers different print houses to see which one I wanted to go with. And the one that made these, I did end up going with. So these are just glossy, they're double-sided savings challenges, just basic scratch off. This one, Elephantastic, one side saves $75, the other side saves $25. And so I am going to scratch, I think I'm going to scratch one on each side. Why not? And I have 8. I don't have a D8, but I have, let's see, I have a D10. So let's roll that. 3. 1, 2, 3. Right in the middle. So that's $3. And then we'll do one on the back, and we'll roll it again. 3 again. So we'll scratch in the same spot. And that one is $2. So total of 5 for Elephantastic. I'll put this one away, and I will bring out Otterly Fabulous is the next one. So again, if you spend $75 or more on physical products in my shop, you will get an Elephantastic, and you will also get an Otterly Fabulous. You'll get one of each. While supplies last. I had 100 of them made, and I still have most of them left. So likely I'll be sending these out with those larger orders for a while. So there we go. Otterly Fabulous. And this one does have 10 on each side. Again, it's double-sided. One saves 100, one saves 25. And it also tells you here what the low and high amounts are for each. So we'll roll a d10. And we've got a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is $8. And on this side, we've got a 10. So down here at the bottom, 5. So that's 13 total. 5, 10, 12, and 13. Running low on the 5s here. I thought I was going to need more 1s, but apparently it's the bigger bills that are more popular. Okay. So that goes in there. I'm probably going to have to put in a catch-all at some point, maybe once one of these are done, just because I think in the future I'm just going to keep rolling until I run low on money and then I'll stop. But for now, for this week anyway, I think we're good here. Okay. This game is Qwixx, and this is a lot like Shut the Box. In fact, it almost is Shut the Box, but it's a little bit different in that there are 4 different colors here, and I have adapted this, again, different from the regular rules. I have adapted this where I'm going to roll the color dice for the row and the 2 white dice. And you can use the color dice, excuse me, the color die on its own, or with either or both of these. So it's sort of like, I don't know, it's sort of like Shut the Box Express. And you keep rolling until you can't make a number with either the color die alone or the color die plus either of the 2 white dice. So, give them a roll. And we've got 3. And we've got 5. And I'm not going to scratch off or cross off the 1 yet, because that's my prerogative. Okay, we've got 8, and we've got 6. Okay, we've got 8 again and 7. So I can't do the 8, but I can do the 7, and as long as I can make a move, I can keep going. I need some bigger numbers here. So that's 7 and 7. Okay, so that's the game over. So that left me all the big numbers here. So 12, let's see. 11 plus 9 is 20, 30, 42, 46, 48. And 4 plus 8 is 12. And I am just going to score it as a 12. I'm not going to add the 1 and the 2. I think for a game like this, you really want some of those bigger numbers, or at least I do. So that's what I'm going to do. Next time, I will be playing with the yellow die and the 2 white dice. Okay. take out the $12, put away the pen, grab the score sheet. Oh, there we go. All right. Yahtzee is next. This one's pretty self-explanatory. I'm only going to play either the top or the bottom. And so because this is a new sheet, first game, I'm just going to play the top. And I'm going to do this the, how do I put this? Like the low budget way. And I'll show how I do it here. So I'm going to do it in order. I'm not going to do sixes, then fours, then twos, whatever. I'm going to roll for ones, then twos, then threes, then fours, then fives, then sixes when I'm doing the top section. So here we go. Got 1-1. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to re-roll the other 4. No ones. And another 1. So that's going to score a 2. Now I'm rolling for 2s. And I'll move this in closer. So 1, 2. Oh, no 2s. Come on, 2. And a whole bunch of 1s, but that's not going to help me here. So another 2. Rolling for 3s now. Only if I can pick up all the dice. Okay, so we got a 3. And a 3. And just 2 3s. So again, I'm not playing real Yahtzee, and I'm playing by myself, but I'm adapting it for, oh goodness, 3 4s right off the bat. I'm adapting it for a savings challenge game. Nothing there, and nothing there. So 12. Now I'm rolling for 5s. Nothing. 1 5. Last roll. Nothing. Okay. Got 5 there. Now going for the 6s. Nothing. 1, 2 6s. And nothing. So we got a 12. Okay, so 12, 24, 32, 4, 39. No bonus. And I am going to save the $12. Because 3 plus 9 is 12, and I'm not going to add those together again. I'm going to let it roll with the 12. So actually, I'll just leave those there. Okay. I can tell already I'm going to be stuffing a bunch of 1s and 2s into the final envelopes, but that's okay. I'll come back and consolidate later. All right, so that's Yahtzee. The next game is another dice game, but it's a special dice game, and that is the Sorry Dice. And like with some of the others, this is one that I've adapted specially for savings challenges. So I'm just going to pop all these out and set up the game. This game comes with these 3 dice, these 3 special dice, and then it comes with 16 tokens. 4 blue, 4 green, 4 yellow, and 4 red. I'll just set these up here. So with this one, I am going to roll the dice 3 times, and I will remove tokens based on what I roll. So if I roll a rainbow token, I'm going to take 1 of each. If I roll a blue, I'm going to take a blue. If I roll a green, I'm going to take a green. Each of these represents $1. If I get a slide token, where is it? Slide token, it's not on that dice because there's only 2 of them. Slide. So that cancels one of the other dice, and I get to pick which one. And if I get a sorry, then I have to replace one of the ones I took out back to the field of play. However many tokens are left over, that's how much I save. So let's give it a roll, and I'm just going to roll this on the mat, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so sorry, so I don't have anything aside yet, so that doesn't count. So I'm going to pull a blue and a yellow. Roll number 2, a green, a red, and a yellow. Third and final roll. I need a rainbow. Oops, all 3 blues. Okay, so that leaves me with 8, so that's what I'm going to save. And this is one that I probably would play more than once, but because I'm trying to go through everything, I'm just going to stay here. Actually, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I'll just use the 2s for this one for now and consolidate later. Okay, so there's 8. I have had some where I end up saving $2, and I've had some where I end up with 14 tokens left. It really varies. So, okay, so 10. The next game is one that I find hilarious. Depending on your generation, I'll say, you may not find it so funny, but I think it's pretty amusing. And it is Millennial Loteria. But before we do that, I am going to scratch for the 12 Days of Christmas. So let me put this over here. And where am I? There they are. Okay, so this is another savings challenge that is available in my Etsy shop. It's a scratch off. I have 12 different cards. On the back, they are placeholders, so as you save more and more, they will become placeholders if that's how you choose to use them. It's each of the 12 Days of Christmas based on postage stamps that were issued by Christmas Island, which is a real island in the Indian Ocean. And back in the 1970s, they issued these different stamps for the 12 Days of Christmas. So there's one for each. The number of scratch-off stickers goes up as the day goes up. So here we are, there's 10, there's 11, and then there's all 12. So I am going to use the D12, and we'll see which one we end up scratching. And we got the 3rd day of Christmas. So the 3rd day is the French hens, and I'm going to roll a d6 to see which one I scratch. Number 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go right here. That one is a whopping $9. Okay, so 5, 7, 9. And we'll put that in here. And I will put these away. This one also comes with the dashboard, and this one will fit in A6 envelopes. It's designed for smaller savings challenge envelopes if you so choose. Okay, and then the last game is Millennial Loteria. Now, if you've played Loteria before, you know it's a lot like bingo. It's Spanish, or maybe it's Mexican. I'm not sure of the origin, but it is, well, I mean, it's Spanish language, but I'm not sure which country it came from. So in Millennial Loteria, essentially, we're going to take a bingo card, and we're going to draw cards to see which spaces we mark off. And I'm going to keep marking off spaces until I get a Loteria, which is a sequence of 4. And once I get the Loteria, then I'm going to save $1 for each chip that I have down. So these bingo cards, or these Loteria cards rather, don't have, there's more cards, there's more designs than there are spaces on here. So there's more than 16 cards. So there's going to be plenty that are just airballs. They're misses. So I'm going to take this out here. Set this to the side for now. So I'll show you some of the different spaces here. They're pretty funny. We've got El Drone, we've got El DJ, La Karen, we've got El TikTok, and this one is a lenticular card, so that's a special one. El Tattoo, El Juice Cleanse, El Yoga, La Border Wall. Some of these are a little controversial. El Man Bun, La Student Debt. Boy, is that, how many of us can relate to the student debt? I had a ton of it when I got out of college. I had massive amounts of debt, paid it off years ago, but it's not something I would wish on anybody, and it's not something I want to revisit myself. L podcast. So you get the idea. There's a lot of them in here. Oops, I got a token here. So actually, I need some tokens so that I can mark off my card. All right. So this is my card, and I will shuffle these. I'll do it as quick as I can. Well, that wasn't a very good shuffle, but it got the job done. Just do a couple more here. Last one. Okay, we're going to cut the deck and we're going to start dealing. So, El Safe Space, I do not have. El Bad Hombre, I do not have. El Yoga, nope. El Gentrification, I do have that. Mark that here. Oh, other side. El Bird Scooter, I do have that down here. El Podcast, I have that down in the corner. El Gender Reveal, yep, got that. El Healing Crystal, nope. El Juice Cleanse, nope. El Troll, nope. El Prime, nope. Last Bitcoins, nope. Last Selfie, no. El Web Design, no. El Makeup Tutorial, yes. Finally a hit. So El TikTok would give me a Loteria. And I decided if I Loteria on a TikTok, I'm going to save double. El Boomer, nope. El Non-GMO, no. La Student Debt, there it is, but I don't have it on my card. La Succulent, nope. El Nail Art, nope. El Internship, nope. El Tattoo, yes. So now El Drone will give me a Loteria. El Piercing, no. La Thigh Gap, no. Getting through most of the cards, though. El Uber, no. There's El Drone. Okay, so now we've got a Loteria, which is a line of 4. So I'm going to save $4, $5, $6, $7. So this one you'll save at minimum $4. In reality, usually more than that. So 2, and I'll use ones here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put my stickers on these because they tend to stick together so much, so I just use them as separators. So $7 goes into Millennial Loteria. Get the binder back out here. And that's it. So I didn't use quite all the $150. There's maybe, I don't know, $10, $12 left. So I'll transfer the extra money over into my savings account a little bit later than in the month. But at any rate, I'm glad that I got a whole lot of money saved. I'm going to clean up all of this, and then I'll be back to wrap everything up in a little bit. So that's it for the first episode of Ready, Budget, Save. If you got all the way through to the end, you are a trooper, and I really do appreciate you. What I'm thinking is that I'm going to use the book money, the General Greenback and the Frugality Force and Zodiac Save with the Stars money, toward some of my longer term goals, like the Roth IRA, the Big Move, and the Rainy Day Fund. And the other games that are in here, I'm going to use to fully fund my emergency fund. That really is the most important thing. So doing these allows me to keep making progress on those other goals, while at the same time putting most of the focus toward the emergency fund, which is really where I want most of my money to go for now. So I'm looking forward to doing this every week. I apologize that this video got up a little bit late. I had intended to record it on Sunday and edit it and schedule it to go live on Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern. But that just didn't happen. Some things got in the way, life happened. So I'm recording this on Monday night, and I will post it as soon as I can get it edited. But in future weeks, it should be up sooner. And like I say, if you did make it through all the way to the end, I do want to thank you for that. I do appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me when folks enjoy my content enough to watch all the way through to the end. It really means a lot. And like I say, if you are interested in any of the Ready Budget Go products that I showed in today's video, whether it's the books or some of the scratch-off challenges or Dicetropolis, I'll have a link down to my Etsy shop down in the description. And please subscribe if you haven't already, hit the like button, leave me a comment, and I will see you next Monday for more Savings Challenge games and for more budgeting fun. Thanks a lot. Take care.